Rio Hondo Prep football is one of the best kept secrets in all of Southern California. As one of the smallest of Rio Hondo here is one of the best kept secrets in all of Southern California. As one of the smallest and have been one of the most successful programs throughout their history. Welcome to A Charge to Keep, the official podcast of Rio Hondo Prep football. Bringing you the latest news and content from his alma mater, a CIF champion in 2001. From the class of 2003, here's your host, Matt Ursima.
What is up, Rio Hondo Prep football fans? It is Selection Sunday. Rio Hondo Prep officially in the CIF Playoffs after their huge win on Friday night at Campbell Hall. They are the second seed out of the Gold Coast League. They will be in the CIF playoffs, and we will know immediately where they will be here in the next 8 minutes or so. A special here for the Charge to Keep podcast. We're doing a Facebook Live. I was going to do it on YouTube Live so people could interact and such, but here we are. We had to settle for Facebook Live from some technical difficulties. Sometimes you think you have it all figured out. You got a great game plan. You're ready to go. And then you run into a team that's better than you, right? Like we saw a couple weeks ago in the Brentwood Eagles. But I can't always make it happen. But here we are right now. We are live on Facebook. I am trying to see if we will have some interaction from the fans and such. So pardon me for the technical difficulties, of course. You guys know me. You guys know I have plenty of those going on all the time. So let me see if anyone is... Listen, it looks like we have a couple of viewers. Hello out there. We'll just send that out and see what happens. So I'm getting some messages from some people already. Let's see on Facebook Live instead. Sorry, everybody. Apparently, you need to request that you can be on Facebook Live or whatever. Let me see. New message from Maynard. Bojorquez. Thank you, Maynard. I'm sure this will all catch up at some point here very, very soon. Anyway, we're on Facebook Live, guys, and Maynard sent an attachment. Oh, that was something else, messaging on Instagram. Anyway, hello, everybody. Rio Hondo Prep. We are projecting. Well, I don't want to make too many projections. We do have a couple of minutes left here. But anyway, Rio Hondo Prep is in the playoffs. We know that with an 8-1 record. They've had a great season. The one hiccup was against the Brentwood Eagles, who won the Gold Coast League outright. And what a game we saw on Friday night with Rio Hondo, just playing the best game of the season. And Ryan McCulloch, the all-star, all-everything, college-bound Rio Hondo care, he took the team on his back. And he just dominated the football game on both sides of the ball. 3 touchdowns, ran for almost 200 yards. He had a ton of carries, literally carrying the workload for the team. And man, what a night it was. He had touchdown runs of 16 yards, 54 yards, and 25 yards. And we're going to talk with Coach Carson later today. Our regularly scheduled podcast, like we've been doing every Sunday, will still be up. It'll be a little later today because usually with Coach Carson, I record nice and early. We decide to wait till after the CIF pairings were released at 10 o'clock today to bring him on. So this is one of 2 shows today. This is just a 20-30 minute reaction show to the playoff pairings. And then I will be back with Coach Carson. We're going to record that around 11:30 or so. And that'll probably finally get out to the public about 1 o'clock. So just some housekeeping items there for you guys. We're going to be joined today on the podcast by junior offensive and defensive lineman Colby Johnson. And then at the end of the show, we're going to be joined by a member from the class of 2006, a CIF champion in 05, Nick Gonzalez, who beat Campbell Hall in the championship 17 years ago. He was on my brother's class, a great group of seniors there. So we'll hear from Nick Gonzalez, already recorded with him. And that's the game plan for the show today, the show later on today, right? So for those who were thinking we were going to be on YouTube, we are instead on Facebook Live. So let me correct that right now for the audience out there. I guess you have to request to go live stream or something. I went on YouTube and it says you can go live in 24 hours. I'm like, are you kidding me? We don't have that kind of time on our hands. It's Selection Sunday, people. We are on Facebook Live. Actually, they probably could have a link, huh? Let's share this technology, everybody. Let me see. That's a photo I shared. We should be live. I should have got an update. There we are. We're live now. Let's share this link, copy the link, and paste. Anyway, guys, we did this last year on the Get Home Safe podcast when I was following the team. We did an instant reaction show to the playoffs. And it was a lot of fun doing that. So I thought we'd do the instant reaction show today, 4 minutes until the pairings are released. I'm not sure if they're going to do it all at once or, bracket by bracket. So maybe it comes out about 11 or 10:05 or 10:10. But usually in my experience, they just post it out there and away we go. So I'm getting more messages from people. Julie Hall. Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry, everybody. See, I'm failing everybody here. All right, we'll get this going for you people watching. You're like, Matt, just get to the point. I'm trying to, guys. I'm trying to. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Check this out. I had since I'm a member of the press now, I had a nice this is my cheap costume. I had my little fedora, my little press card like they used to wear up in the World Series and stuff. So that's what I wore last night for our little Halloween celebration. Had a lot of fun doing that. Let me see. So projections from what I've heard that it's possible that Rio Hondo may be in Division 11, which comparatively last year, Rio was placed in Division 7, which is, the highest division they've ever been in for sure. Years ago when Rio entered 11-man football, they were in Division 13. And then CIF has since added a 14th division. And then there, of course, 2 8-man football divisions as well. But Rio probably going to be in that Division 11, which I think would be a good fit for them, especially being such a young team and everything. All right, let me see. No comments yet from the people. Let me pull up my stream just to make sure. And away we go. If you're watching out there, let's see. I got 3 people watching. Say hello. Send a comment in if you would, so we can make sure all is well here. I think people are coming in and out. But a couple more minutes here until the selections are made. And I'm very curious to see with the second place seed in a league, in a 4-team league, does Rio get a home game? That is the big question. I would think yes, but you never know with the CIF. Exactly how far you could end up going. Sometimes in various playoff games over the years, we had some very long road trips. And I do know a lot of people are going to be stepping into church here at 10 o'clock too. So it'll be tough to look at your phone, if you know what I mean. Oh man, I remember my senior year, we finished a 3-way tie for first place, and we won the coin flip. So we were placed as the 1 seed, right, in the league. And the team we played, Grace Brethren, they were also a 3-way tie for first place in their league. They lost the coin flip, so theoretically they were the 3 seed. And so we were each awarded. We paired up with each other in the first round of the playoffs. We got the home game, and they beat us. So that was an unfortunate evening way back in 2022, 20 years ago. My goodness, how much time flies. Anyway, again, there will be another show later today, a regularly scheduled show. This will only be about a 20, maybe a 30-minute hit piece here as we react to the playoff pairings. All right, it is 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock on the dot. Let's go to the CIFSS.org and see if the brackets are available. Here we go, everybody. I'm going to guess and go straight to Division 11. Let's see, everybody. Don't tell me technical difficulties ever. Who do we got? Oh boy. Bad gateway. What on earth does that mean? All right. It's not working on the computer. I'm having a tough time with technology today, everybody. Let's try this another way. CIF. Maybe it's the CIF website because it's not working on my phone either. So now we have to stall. No worries. More brackets. Playoff brackets. All right, here we go. We're up and running. Let's jump ahead to Division 11 just to see if that is in fact where Rio Hondo was placed. And CIF Playoffs, which begin November 5th, the first round. Scrolling through Division 11, I do not see Rio Hondo in Division 11. Okay, let's go up to Division 10. Let's go that direction. Just in case. All right. Division 10. Is Rio Hondo in this bracket? Rio Hondo is not in Division 10. Let's go back on the other side to Division 12. Where does Rio Hondo Prep end up? Are these last year's brackets? Yes, they are. Hello. Come on, CIF. You're killing me. This is the worst live show ever, if I must say so. CIF's website is crashing right now, I think, because of the CIF pairings going on. Let's try one more time on the phone. View brackets. Bad gateway. I don't know what that means, everybody, but for some reason, the website is not up and running. So we may just have to stall a little bit here and see what happens. Let me close it. You know, the old trick, close and reload. See if that works. Still nobody wants to chat with me on Facebook Live here. I got 3 viewers. Let's see who they are. Can you do that? I guess you can't. Division 11. Man, that would be a good fit. And some of the schools in there I saw projected. Salesian, we all remember those guys. Chaffee High School from out here in Ontario. We've all seen them play a time or two. Very, very big school. Still nothing. Bad gateway. I don't know why this is happening. Come on, CIF, get it together. Is this the equity they were talking about? Perhaps. What a game though, Friday night, man. Great crowd showed up. Again, Ryan McCullough doing what he does, and quite a performance. Alex Mustaine taking the reins, leading the team at quarterback. I was really impressed with let's see, Cody Nelson stuck his nose in there a time or two, and Josh Tafflinger, man, made some big time hits there as a middle linebacker. Key contributors, of course, everywhere. The normal guys. Nate Curtis really had himself quite a game. Let's see. John Lee. Buenos dias, Matt. Well, hello, John. Good morning to you as well. Waiting for the CIF to get their website working so we can find out who we're playing. If Twitter's blowing up. Good morning to Rio Hondo fans out there. If you remember last year, Rio was probably going to get in, but it was still up in the air because they lost the game they needed to win last year against Campbell Hall. They were not victorious, and therefore were an at-large team. That'll be interesting to see too if Campbell Hall gets in the playoffs after finishing third in that league. Still nothing. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, Division 1 is up. If you're curious, in Division 1, there's what, 14? No, man, everyone's got to buy. Looks like Mater Dei and St. John Bosco will be in the finals eventually. Those playoffs start November 4th, this Friday as well. So the Division 1 stuff is up. Maybe like I said earlier, that they're going to be little by little, a little bit at a time. There's also okay, he announced there's 10 teams in Division 1, which is interesting because most other brackets will be 16, but this is part of the equity thing. Like, do you just throw random teams into Division 1 who fulfill the requirements, or do you keep it as the best teams here in Southern California? Mater Dei has a bye. They'll play the winner of Santa Margarita and J. Sarah. Long Beach Poly has a bye, as does Los Alamitos. They're meeting in the second round. That's kind of odd. Corona Centennial and Mission Viejo have a first round bye. They're going to play in the second round, and Edison and Orange Lutheran play this Friday, with the winner facing St. John Bosco. So that's Division 1. What about the other divisions? CIF? Nothing? Okay, we got Division 2 up. I'm going to scroll through it just to be like, hey, is anybody we know in Division 2 playing? Okay. Division 3 is not up. So it looks to me like they're releasing these brackets one at a time or uploading it. And of course, they're going to start with Division 1 accordingly. I would love to take questions from you guys if you have any right now. That's part of the beauty of going live on Instagram. What are we on? Instagram, Facebook, not Instagram. Do we have comments from my friends here? Yes, John Lee. Julie Tafflinger. Good morning. Thank you, Matt. Good morning to you, Mrs. Tafflinger. Like I said, Josh had himself a heck of a game on Friday. And you know what? Coach Carson, the whole team, all the coaches were screaming their heads off. And some last names just flow better when you're screaming them. And Coach Carson multiple times, Tafflinger. It's just, shouting out orders, which is a custom on a football field. So no, but Josh, all kidding aside, had a heck of a game. And man, what a job he's done as a linebacker. If you haven't had a chance to listen to last week's show, Josh was our player guest, and what a privilege chatting with him. Still no Division 3. Still no, let's see, is Division 4 up? Sean Lee also commented. So yeah, there's something going on with the brackets here. Okay, Division 5 is out. Well, we're obviously not going to be there, but I'm just like, it's weird. Some of these are up and some are not. So what about Division 6? Division 6 is no good. Division 7, last year's division from the bracket. Last year's bracket. Okay, Division 8 is out. So we're getting warmer. We are getting warmer. There's still a few that are not quite up yet. Division 9. Nothing yet. And Division 10, no. How about 12? Division 14 is up. Let's just scroll through this just to check. No, Rio Hondo will not be in Division 14. Any local team? Gladstone, Rosemead, South El Monte, some local teams there. Duarte, Whittier Christian. Interesting. Well, I guess that's what Division 14 is these days. Let's see. How about Division 13? No, not yet. So we patiently wait here, friends, for the pairings, but trying to kill some more time here. What else happened on Friday night? John Lee. So the division we get placed in is based on strength of schedule and margin of victory. Yes, one of the things CIF is doing in their infinite wisdom to promote equity. Yes, competitive equity. That is the actual term. They want to try to get some of the schools that never made the playoffs and try to, usually a lot of the weaker public schools is the best way to explain it. Is to get them into the postseason. Like, for instance, as I just mentioned, Gladstone, South El Monte, like those are decent sized schools. Everything's decent size outside of us. But they get placed in lower divisions. I'm not sure what their records are, but yeah, with Rio being 8-1, there's a little bit based off of your enrollment. But still, I mean, that's how we wound up in Division 7 last year. We were, had a 1-loss team. Our margin of victory was through the roof. So it's almost a, I don't know, a catch-22 when you have all these blowout wins. In a way, you're hurting yourself. So that's a frustrating part of the way they do things. And just what Coach Carson has said to me, his big idea was you should have a ceiling, like based off of your enrollment, a ceiling and a cellar or whatever, ceiling and a basement. So if you like our enrollment, for instance, you get placed by division, placed in a division based off of your performance and everything. But because our enrollment is so low, we should only be somewhere between Division 14 and Division 11. If your enrollment is through the roof, of course, your divisions, all right, you're in Division 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like it's kind of like it gives you a little bit of a buffer there to be placed somewhere else. So that's his idea. I think that is not a bad idea at all. Still nothing up yet from the Division 11. So just bouncing around here. I could do a little refresher. We'll see. See if that helps. And I'll be able to pull up whoever I found out our opponent is. I'll pull them up real quick here to see to see who we got. It's taking a while to refresh. Maybe that's a good sign. Those keeping score at home. Yes, the Denver Broncos won this morning in London, 6:30 local kickoff, or 6:30 kickoff for us fans out here. All right, that's a better sign. Click on Division 11. It doesn't give me the bad signal anymore. It just is blank. So, I mean, it's loading. Strongly worded email, CIF. You're getting a strongly worded email. So yeah, margin of victory. I mean, it's tough, John. Like, you're on the sideline. You know, it's almost like you have to make those decisions in game too. Hey, do we score here? Do we try to not like run up the score, but you know, say you put your freshmen out there, your little guys, and they have success on offense, or you have a pick six or something. Sometimes it's difficult. It is what it is. That's why I don't like you kind of trying to calculate all this. Whereas in football, I mean, enrollment really does matter. And I know there's people out there that want to see Rio in the highest division that they can be in. I'm with you. I agree. But at the same time, we got to be somewhat realistic with these things. Let me see. Any other comments? This is Rams 49er day. Like, I'm not going through enough right now as well. Come on, CIF. Help me out here. Help a brother out. All right, here we go. Division 11 is up. Is Rio Hondo in Division 11? No. But Campbell Hall is in Division 11. And they have 2 losses on the season. Campbell Hall is in Division 11 and we are not. So do we go forward or backwards? I would jump to Division 10, but they are not up yet either. How about D12? There's no rhyme or reason to this, guys. I don't know what's going on with the all right, we just got an Instagram post from Johnny Rodriguez, a friend of the program. He says Division 10 away at Norwalk. Norwalk, not too far down the road. Division 10, Rio Hondo will be on Friday night. That is what he just told me. We're going to look at Norwalk, California, the Lancers. So you get a road game in the first round. Not too bad of a trip. That's not bad. I think we will take that for right now, because in the CIF, you never know where you might end up. Let's look at Norwalk. No, I don't want I'm having a rough morning today. What is going on? All right. Norwalk. Yes, the Lancers. I'd like to know more about your school. All right. Norwalk Lancers. Just down, what would that be? Just down the 605. The Norwalk Lancers are
socks are the number one most requested item in homeless shelters.
Commercials.
Underwear
CIF.
is number 2. And t-shirts are number 3.
Yes, t-shirts are important. All right. Let's see. Norwalk High School, 9-1, second in the Mid-Cities League with a 3-1 record. Their only loss of the season was to Gar, last game of, let's say, second to last game of the year. 26-6, Gar of Cerritos. Thank you, Johnny Rodriguez. Thank you much. Now I'm hearing Division 9. All right. It's looking like Division 9, not Division 10. Either way, we're playing Norwalk, which is not too shabby. Norwalk has scores. Let's see. On their season, they beat, excuse me, San Marino 55-33. They beat La Cañada 49-28. One common opponent we have here on the schedule with Norwalk. Norwalk beat El Monte 55-6. And if you remember, we opened our season beating El Monte. I believe it was 29-7 or 28-0, something like that. So a common opponent there. Man, they put up some points though. Southeast, Southgate, they beat them 70-6. They beat Glenn 59-6. They beat El Rancho, pretty good program, 44-30. Linwood 51-0. Bellflower, low scoring game, 14-12. We talked about their loss to Gar already, 26-6. And in their season finale, they beat Firebaugh 46-0. So here we go. Division 10, not Division 10. Let's see if we can turn this up. Division 10. Thank you, Johnny Rodriguez. He's showing me some of the details here. Norwalk, Rio Hondo. It looks like they would play, if they advance, it could be on a crash course with Mirror High School. All right, the bracket is up. Let's pull it up here. Rio Hondo Prep at Norwalk. The winner of this game will meet the winner of Tustin or Mirror in the second round. If it is Tustin, it would be a coin flip. If it is Mirror, it would be a home game for Rio Hondo. So that would really be something. Now, let's look at the rest of the teams in the Division 10 bracket for Rio Hondo Prep. They are towards the bottom, it looks like. I'm getting blown up here. Norwalk is the number 3 seed, Rio Hondo with the 10 seed. The number 1 seed in the Division 10 playoffs is Santa Ana. They will play Fillmore. This is the top part of the bracket that Rio couldn't see into the finals. So Santa Ana, the number 1 seed. El Rancho down there in what is that, Pico Rivera area, similar to where we're going on Friday, Norwalk. El Rancho hosts Palmdale. This is an intriguing name in the division. LaSalle, our neighbors to what would that be? Neighbors to the west over there in San Marino or whatever that is. They host Sunny Hills on Friday night. And finally, the final 2 teams in the top half of the bracket, Salesian goes to Sonora out there in La Habra. So those are the teams Rio could not see until the finals. That is the number 1 seed, and then spread out, of course, accordingly. We know Rio Hondo is going to Norwalk on Friday night. They would meet the winner of Tustin or Muir. Also in the bracket, potential semifinal matchups. You have Cantwell Sacred Heart local school against Covina. Covina traveling to Cantwell Sacred Heart. So those 2 schools relatively close to Rio. That would be these last 4 teams would be a potential semifinal matchup. And the final 2 teams in the Division 10 playoffs is Baldwin Park going to Dana Hills, which I believe is Orange County. So that's your bracket, 16 teams in Division 10. We thought we would be in Division 11 with our projections, but some of the projections I saw here on the bracket were names and teams that I thought we would be seeing in Division 11 potentially anyway. So let me see. I got all kinds of ads and stuff popping up here. All right. So the division we get placed in. Look at Division 10. It's up. Thank you, Julie. Away at Norwalk. I did not have this up while I was looking at some other messages. So I get to give everybody credit for reaching out to me and telling me the pairings. Well, there it is, guys. Division 10. As a comparison, last year Rio was in Division 7 and played a pretty good team there in Charter Oak. It is 10-10 right now. Again, looking at Norwalk. I know Firebaugh, who they beat the last game of the year, that Rio used to play them in the league together. El Rancho, who I mentioned, is a pretty good team. Linwood. I am impressed with the scores here for the Norwalk football team. And a brief preview here. Let me go into their stat leaders. Looks like as a team, they what do they do better? Are they more of a passing team or a running team? Let me see. On the season, it does not look like these numbers cannot be right. 12 passing attempts on the season? No way. Maybe they're one of those teams that runs the ball, runs. Because on the season as a team, they have rushed for over 3,000 yards. They average 10 yards a carry, 10.3 to be exact. They rush for 350 yards a game, 349.8 to be exact. Rushing 100 plus 14 times they've been over 14, 52 rushing touchdowns. Wow. So in a pass happy league, pass happy game that we see in football now, this is a team that runs the ball. I do have a friend I know at Pico Rivera, who was a coach there, or at least was at one time, not on football, but he could probably give me some insight here into Norwalk. It looks like they're a team that runs the ball and runs and runs and runs. So I don't know if it's a wing T type of matchup or whatever. That could be trouble for Rio, because just putting everyone in the box, and Rio often gets beaten up and bruised here and there. So we'll see if this matchup is a good one for Rio Hondo. They've thrown 12 passes on the entire season. If these numbers are right, it says their quarterback is a senior, 9 games played. He has 3 completions for 12 out of 12 attempts, 41 yards. One of those catches was a touchdown. So, wow, this is a team that runs the football a lot. And we have on here, let me see, 2 different running backs have over 1,000 yards. A senior, number 5, Michael Mueller. Looks like he gets a lot of their carries in the rushing department. He has 115 carries for 1,251 yards, averages 10.9 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns on the season. No, let me see. 19 touchdowns on the season. He has gone over 100 yards 7 different times out of 9 games played. And then their other big running back is another senior, over 1,000 yards as well, David Herrera, number 31. And David Herrera, if we can see here, 8 game. Okay. 78 carries for David Herrera, 1,080 yards, averaging higher than his counterpart, Michael Mueller, 13.8 yards per carry, 17 touchdowns on the season. And then there's a few other guys in there who have rushed for, 250 yards, 160 yards, so spilling in, I'm sure, maybe reverses and things like that. But I mean, the bulk of the carries are these 2 guys, Michael Mueller and David Herrera, number 5 and number 31, each of them over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. So, and 19 and 17 of the teams, 52 touchdowns, respectively. So we got ourselves a team that loves to run the ball. I think that's probably a good thing for Rio, but teams like this that just run it all the time, and when it's coming, and they're tough to stop sometimes. Matt, legit breakdown. Thank you, Joe. This is here we go, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to break this down with Coach Carson later on a regularly scheduled show, but I wanted an instant reaction here for the CIF playoff pairings. I'm going to record with Coach Carson around 11:30 or so. We'll do 30 minutes maybe. And then I have Colby Johnson on at 12 o'clock, or give or take. And we will talk to him about his experience at Rio Hondo Prep and how excited he is for the big playoff game this Friday. And finally, we will bring on Nick Gonzalez, who I've already recorded with, to come on here and chat about his time at Rio Hondo Prep. Well, there it is, guys. Division 10. We thought everything I've been told was Division 11 was what it was looking like, but you don't always things don't, as this podcast went this morning with the YouTube TV and going live, it doesn't always go as planned, but here we are. So the playoff system is a bit jacked up. Let's keep it real. Campbell Hall loses to RHP and they get placed in Division 11. That bracket is a massive softie. Interesting. Didn't get a chance to look at it. I'm curious where Brentwood ended up. I'm going to look at some other divisions right now. Let's go Division 9 just to see. San Dimas, West Covina. Ooh, that's a good first round game. Man, talk about running the ball. That game will be over in an hour and a half. Both those teams run the ball very, very well. Division 8. Still no Brentwood. Man, they had a heck of a team this year. I'm curious where they're going. How high can you put Brentwood? Unless they went behind us, backwards. I can't imagine that happened. Division 6. Where are the Brentwood Eagles? I just want to compare to be like, hey, you have a 2-loss season and you get placed in a bracket really that because you win the league, right? You shoot up through the system. I'm still not seeing them in division. Maybe can't division 11, since that's where Campbell Hall is. Not seeing that either. Unless I skip something. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and kind of bearing through all this with me. Northview, they go to Ramona. It's always nice to see the local schools, everyone with that fresh start, right? Winner go home game. It's good stuff, man. You got to love this stuff. I'm not seeing Brentwood. Let's go to my sources, see if anybody messaged. Brentwood, #1 seed in Division 8. Thank you, Joe. Let's go to Division 8. That's a high division for them. Yeah, Brentwood is in Division 8. So that's the polar opposite. That's the difference really in winning league. You get in the playoffs, you're the #1 seed in your league, but then you get rewarded going to Division 8. And I know Brentwood isn't very big enrollment, so they're playing Rancho Verde, which I know is a pretty big school. So this is the problem with CIF's idea about equity and placing schools in there with a smaller enrollment going up against much bigger schools as well. All right. Wow. Well, guys, it is 10:30-ish almost. We will wrap it up. But guys, it's on Friday night, Rio Hondo at Norwalk, which is not, let's see. I'll look at the map real quick, trying to give you guys as much information as possible. But we will man, it's going to be a bruiser of a football game. I'll tell you that on Friday night. The way Rio runs the ball, the way these guys run the ball. I mean, time of possession, all that good stuff. Let's see. Norwalk High School, straight down the 605, right there, as it's just, the school is just east of the 605 freeway, right around where the 105 and the 605 freeway merge there. The 105 ends at the 605. So 22 miles from where I sit now. Let me jot it in from Rio Hondo Prep, just to be accurate. A 20-mile trip for Rio Hondo with no traffic right now, 26 miles. So that 605 can be tricky on the weekends, but always a good time getting on the road. So I think in that regard, it being a short trip for your first game, that's cool, because then you're more than likely, if you are able to advance, get a home game or two. So not a huge road trip, but the toughest test for Rio is going to be finding a way to stop the run. And this team, as I mentioned, some of their scores, they put up a ton of points. I mean, 60, 70, even one game, in the 50s constantly. So going to be a lot of fun Friday night, guys. Rio's in the playoffs. We knew that after their big win Friday, but now that it's official, man, life is good. So, guys, I will see you in a couple hours as I bring on Coach Carson, Colby Johnson, and Nick Gonzalez for our regularly scheduled show. But this was just a playoff selection special. Little delay, little problems, but hey, we got through it, much like a football game, right? There's wins and losses on both sides of the ball. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me. I will be back on the, let me see. I will be back on the regularly scheduled podcast here in a couple of hours. Have a great Sunday. Go Rams. They're going to lose. I know they will. But anyway, I'll be back in a couple, guys. Thanks for joining me. And we will chat very, very soon. Thanks, guys. Go Rio. Rio Hondo at Norwalk on Friday night in Division 10.